Hi, friend. This is Pastor Lucas Pin, and this is our snack for the journey. And this week we are in the book of the letter that Paul wrote to the Galatians, a very important letter because he was dealing with the Judaizers. Wow, that is hard to pronounce. But they were Jews that converted, at least some people believe that they converted, but they kept the ceremonial law. They thought that they had to fulfill all the laws of Moses is still valid, and they were forcing that to the church. And Paul had to write to the church and say, no, 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 it's not that way anymore. Jesus forgave. Of course, some parts of the law, the moral law, all those laws are still valid. But they are talking about the ceremonial law, the circumcision, and all that kind of the washing of this and that. It's all that kind of stuff. And Paul said, no, no, you don't need to practice those things to be saved. That is the point. That is the point. And then Paul is going to talk about ministry and all the other. It talks about he gives a little bit of his testimony. So read the whole letter and you're going to enjoy that letter. And before I read the verse for today, I'd like to encourage you to subscribe to our channel and to share this video with your friends and family and help us to bless other people. Verse for today. Let's go there to the Bible. Let's go there. Here we go. I think that I have here. Yes, chapter 2, verse 7. Chapter 2, verse 7. Look what Paul wrote. On the contrary, they saw that I had been entrusted with the task of preaching the gospel to the Gentiles, just as Peter had been to the Jews. This is a very interesting text because Paul here is comparing his ministry with Peter. But not only the ministry is the same, is preaching the gospel. That is the same ministry. Both of them, they have to preach the gospel. They are entrusted the task. That's the goal. God gave you a goal to say you are going to preach the gospel, and to Peter, you're going to preach the gospel. Both of them are preaching the gospel. It's very important for you to understand that. The problem is that is the focus of the gospel. Paul was to preach the gospel Paul was to preach the gospel to the Gentiles and Peter was to preach the gospel to the Jews. And it's very important for us to understand that because sometimes you say, well, I don't know how to deal with this kind of people. I don't know how to share with them. But I understand. I have the same problem. There's some people God not only gave them gifts, but the gifts or the ministry is direct but a specific people. This is why we have missionaries. There are people that are called to preach the gospel to certain countries. And if someone comes to us and say, "Hey, you are going there," I don't know. I don't understand. I don't have ability to other language, culture, and all that kind of thing. Some people they have the ministry for children, for youth, for elderly people, for adults, for couples and all. It's just kind of the task is different. The task is it's a cultural task. And it's very important for us to understand it. Not that we cannot do it in the sense that we don't know how to do it. If there is no one there around and someone needs to hear the gospel, I hope you are able to share the gospel with that person. No matter the age of that person, the culture, the language maybe, if they speak a little English, you can do something. But there's some people, they received the task. And Paul is sharing this with us. Look, I received the task for the Gentiles, and Peter received for the Jews. He's good in that. And I'm good in what I'm doing. I'm reaching the Gentiles. And it's a great lesson for all of us. Encouraging lesson, because sometimes you are asked to do something and you don't know how to do, you don't like, and sometimes you're not called for that. It's okay. You just need to find your people who to whom the Lord called you to share the gospel. That is what we need to find, each one of us. Each one of us. And this is our snack for today. God bless you.